Good morning, everybody. It is a big day, no pun intended, for the Jeep. You guys can see we have everything packed up. We're heading over to Ryan's house. He's gonna help us lift this Jeep 4 inches with the Belltech suspension. Honestly, I can't wait because I think it's gonna handle a lot better, especially now that I have new track bars, adjustable track bars, and then the new control arm. So I literally cannot wait to get this thing on. We are gonna be up there in about an hour and a half, and then we will get started working on it almost right away. So as soon as we have Hal all packed up and ready to go, we are out of here. Is this all ready to go?
That is, we need to refill his food thing before I can pack all the food.
Okay. I'll take this and then I'll be right back. Back wasn't closed.
My fault.
Yeah, this is why you probably shouldn't have walked in.
We're good, we're good. Ollie, do you see this? You're fine. Hi. Are you twinning?
Yeah. I wore mine last night. We should all take a picture, send it to
Yeah, we need to go to Texas, Tennessee. We should all just walk in with the shirts on.
Like,
Okay, can we switch first?
I'm not gonna, no, I'm not holding him. This is new.
Alright, so we got rid of the girls, and while the girls are away, the boys will play. If you guys do not recognize this truck, it is Ryan Mayer from YouTube. If you haven't checked him out before, get down there. I'll leave a link in the description below. His truck is absolutely insane. We helped a little bit, if you guys remember. We helped him lift this thing, do some other minor stuff, but he also has his Hellcat over here, and then he has a project truck. He's my brother-in-law. We've done plenty of lift kits together, including this one, and we actually did my original Jeep lift. So we're gonna be continuing the tradition here and taking my Jeep from a 2.5 inch to a 4-inch lift, and we're gonna be doing it here in the driveway. But we're gonna get this thing started and knocked out here. Hopefully we'll be able to get done in, what do you think? We can probably get done by the time it gets dark out.
Yeah, if it's like the only thing on these, obviously the control arms, they'll fight with you. And if you have all 8, it'll be fine. It's a few more steps than usual, but
yeah.
Honestly, most people sit there and I feel like I'm just gonna disconnect the whole rear end, because do they give you measurements for the control arms?
Yeah.
Oh, well then we'll set them. And honestly, the axle, everyone gets scared of it because it's heavy, but it's actually a lot lighter than you think. So we're just gonna set them, and then we'll just literally twist the axle and put them in, and by hand it'll be fine.
Alright, so it may not look like much because it all fits in this tiny little box.
Oh, that's it?
But yeah, I need you to go ahead and try and lift that thing up.
The box?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my god.
It's not even wedged in there. That's how heavy that thing is. All those parts are so beefy, dude. Look at it.
God.
Yeah.
The damn FedEx guy would have probably had a helmet that.
Now, imagine me trying to load this in here by myself because Hallie couldn't help.
Wow.
Yeah, it was bad.
Rear road armor fender here, if this tape measure can sit, is about 45 inches, give or take.
That was to where? The fender here?
It is about right here.
To the ground?
It's either there or here, one of the 2 lines.
Okay, well, yeah. I'll throw my back out. So we're just going to dive right into it. We're going to start with the rear and then move on to the front. I'm not really sure how long this is going to take. We haven't really done a lift kit in a driveway in a very long time.
Yeah, it's been a bit. Over last summer I did 2.
Well, yeah, I guess you did some heavy duty trucks, so we should be all right. I and I are going to jack this rear end up pretty high because of how giant those rear coils are. We're going to have to get this axle as low as we possibly can.
Oh, little closer, baby. Ah, get the fuck. Take it off, yeah.
Alright, got the wheels off. Time for a beer.
Actually, by the end of this project, it might be shandy time.
Ooh, it's always shandy time.
Cut her down softly. She falls off the stands.
Yeah.
You signed your waiver.
Well, waiver. Yep.
Yeah. Hold on. This side. Let's see what we're dealing with. Oh, I see. Let her down. Keep going.
Oh, you didn't jack the other side up, dweeb.
They're not. I guess it was one click. Here. Oh, just what the doctor ordered. Coronavirus.
Ryan's gonna go ahead and jump on not destroying, but ripping apart this rear end. I'm gonna adjust everything to the spec, and then we're gonna continue moving on here. We got all the upper and lower control arms adjusted to the spec. Ryan's still working on ripping apart the passenger side here. It's almost done, so we should be able to put these parts on in just a second. Now that's a spring.
Yeah.
Hey girl.
Hey Huck. What's up? I know it's late, but I knew you'd pick it up.
No.
Spring-a-ling ding dong. Ding-a-ding ding ding dong.
I'm a simple man, don't want a complication.
Alright, world's biggest wrench.
Yeah.
Alright, so the sun is setting. It did take us a little while longer to do this back end. We just kept pausing and kind of catching up with each other because we haven't seen each other in a long time. But yeah, you guys can see we have the upper and lower control arms in, the new sway bar end links in, shocks, coils, everything in the back here is put together. We just need to throw the tires back on, and then we're going to move on to the front. Because the sun is going down, it actually is starting to get a little bit colder. I think it's calling for snow tomorrow, actually.
No, tomorrow's supposed to be hot.
Oh, well, tomorrow's supposed to be hot. But yeah, we're gonna try and knock out this front end in like no time flat. I really don't even know what I recorded because I'm just like kind of back and forth between the camera, my GoPro, and like putting like stuff on the Jeep and getting measurements and all this. But hopefully this video turns out great. So we're gonna move on to the front. Hopefully I can get some good footage for you guys. And here's Huck eating some roots. Running out of daylight here, so we're gonna slap it together. Well, slap it together professionally.
FC, I'm so fat, every time I lay down, it disconnects from me. Look at this. Look.
That's so funny. Alright, holy crap. Ryan, like by the time I pretty much finished that last clip, Ryan had pretty much disassembled this entire front end. Like, look at my axle's literally on the ground. Well, it's on the jack, but it's literally on the ground. So we have all the new coils in, we have the shocks in. We just have to throw these upper and lower control arms in and sway bar end links, and we're good to go. And so far, things are looking giant, because if this rear end is anything to like tell about what this front end's gonna look like, or when it's completely done, this is gonna be massive. Just looking right here, you get like pretty much my frame, like the bottom of my frame lines up almost with the top of my 38. Like this is just, this would have been so much easier to put these rear fender liners in had I done this lift beforehand. Jeeps are, like Ryan is saying, is like they're pretty easy to lift generally, but like a 4-inch lift on a JL.
You want some bread with that?
JLs lift so well compared to like JKs that like my 2.5-inch lift compared to my buddy Ben's I think 4 or 4.5. I can't remember. I always forget. But like,
PDHK, is that it?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Ben's. So compared to his, my 2.5 was like pretty close to like where his JK was, and I can't wait to show him how big this is after the whole quarantine is over, because this thing is, the rear end's towering over like what I had before. This almost would be like, I would consider this almost like a 6-inch lift for like a JK, dude.
See, that's what's crazy is honestly, I wanted to get a Jeep. And I was telling myself I just want like a moderate lift and like some 35s. But like even my truck, I'm like, I don't think I can not have a truck that's not that big anymore almost. It's just
Well,
so
I
much
know,
more,
but
like,
you can't get rid of, if you ever get rid of that truck, I'm gonna be so mad.
That's the problem. Like, what am I gonna do? If I ever want a new truck, I'm gonna have 2 trucks?
Yeah, pretty much. Merch giveaway. For every $3,000 you spend at Lifted Co., you get you 1 entry to win the truck.
If somebody bought $3,000 worth of stuff, thank you.
I know you could do sweet stuff like this. I mean, look at, that's what I started with.
Yeah, you get a whole bunch of clear
it's
coat
a
all
little-
over
little
them.
dirty.
Good shop putties.
And then you just bleach it, and then you get this.
Throw a bunch of oil on it.
Yeah, there's still oil on it from when I changed my, you can see it from when I changed my oil in the one video. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead, finish this bad boy up, literally throw this together. We're almost out of daylight here. It's just peeking up over the sunset there.
I'm late for my massage. I'll be right back.
Yeah, so pretty much he's got to go, and we're gonna do this real fast. Improvising here. This is the real reason you need light bars. So I'm not really even sure what kind of footage I got last night. I kept switching cameras and to the GoPro and to the time lapse, and you know, right after we finished the rear, we're like, well, the sun was going down pretty quickly, so we kind of put the front together, did the track bars, and then we kind of called it quits. It was pretty late at night. But here is the final result with the 4-inch lift kit. It fits those 38s so perfectly. It was actually supposed to probably be meant to fit 38s, or like look a lot better than that 2.5-inch lift. The 2.5-inch is fine, it tucked those up in there, but this is like the original look that I wanted for the Jeep. And after driving it and breaking in this suspension, it feels really, really nice. I wish I had a better estimate of like how high this is for you, because nothing ever comes through on camera, so you guys will never really know. But we did measure this rear fender before and after, and before in the footage you guys can see, I believe it was 45 inches from the ground up into the back fender here. But we actually measured it again and it was at 49, so I'm not really sure how that math worked out. I figured it was only going to lift the Jeep up, you know, 1.5 inches compared to the 2.5-inch, but we gained 4 inches over my 2.5-inch lift, so I'm not really sure how that entire math added out. But I mean, this thing is just absolutely massive. This is gorgeous. This is exactly what I wanted in the first place. On the front end, we did have a little bit of trouble trying to, I mean, anything with like you're taking all like the things that are connecting the axle down. The axle did shift a little bit, so getting the control arms up in there and lined up gave us a little bit of trouble. Not really trouble, but it'd take us a little bit longer just because we kind of had to shift stuff around and line it up. But needless to say, you guys could tell we finally got it on there, and that's why it took us so long. I'm going to do an extended review after I drive this for a couple more weeks, really get that suspension settled in and get used to driving it up higher, because it is it's definitely different. I'm like seeing over like smaller SUVs, like I can only imagine what like driving this thing is like. But I'll get back to that in a couple of weeks, doing an extended review. Thank you guys for sticking around and watching this video. I want to thank Ryan for helping me out and doing this lift kit in the driveway with me. It kind of takes us back to like the old days when we were doing lift kits together back in, you know, on the driveway or even in the shop. If you haven't checked out his channel, obviously his truck and his Hellcat over here, and he's got another truck in the garage over there that he's working on. I'll leave a link in the description below. Go ahead, check him out. You probably heard of him before you've heard of me. Lifted Co. To get all your merch, hats, sweatshirts, all sorts of stuff. I'm actually about to go get one of the new sweatshirts that just came in, so we're gonna be wearing one of those here soon. Thank you guys again for tuning in. Down there, hit that subscribe button, leave a big thumbs up for this video, I really appreciate it, and leave a comment letting me know what you guys think of the new Belltech 4-inch suspension. Again, we'll do an extended review here in a couple of weeks. So thank you guys again for tuning in, and we will catch you in the next one in about 5 seconds.